If she had only been ugly, we would still be together.
Welcome back to the show. I hope that you're doing well. Natasha Leggero, good to see you.
Hi, darling.
Am I pronouncing your name correctly?
Yeah.
Okay. Because, everybody has a thing. I don't even know how my name is pronounced. I swear to God.
It's Irrera.
No, you see?
Irrera.
I think it's Irrera.
Irrera.
Because a guy said to me one time, he was a waiter in New York, and he says, where do you get this Irrera? You're Italiano. It's Irrera. Irrera, stupido. I'm getting lectured about my name.
But we do have a way of pronouncing things in America. Like everyone's have you ever eaten that pho, but everyone's now calling it pho?
Pho?
It's like the noodles.
Pho?
People calling it pho. And I'm like, it's called pho. And they're like, no, it's actually in Vietnam they call it pho. But it's like, yeah, in the Netherlands, you pronounce that painter Van Gogh.
Van Gogh?
Van Gogh.
Oh, Van
Van Gogh.
Van Gogh?
Van Gogh. He did Starry Night? Van Gogh. I'm just saying you don't have to always pronounce things the way they're traditionally supposed to be pronounced.
I know. That's why I like Chris Rock. Simple. Direct to the point. Ak. It's got an ak in it.
Am I still waiting to get introduced? Sorry.
No, I introduced you.
Oh, yeah. Okay,
I introduced you, and it's a pleasure to have you here on the show, on the podcast.
Where's this camera?
A podcast. This camera's all over the place. Don't you worry about it. First of all, you came over here. You could have dressed up a little.
I didn't know that we were going to be on
You could have dressed
camera.
up your normal. Look at this. As beautiful as she is, even better when she doesn't look like she really looks. I'm kidding. Look, what are you looking at me like that?
I
think you look beautiful, man. I
know, but thank you. You said that, but I would have liked to maybe brushed my teeth and taken.
You didn't brush your teeth?
I did brush my teeth, but I didn't shave my legs, and I just put these heels on in the car.
I don't see hair.
Yeah, it's only like one day.
So tell me about Duncan.
About Duncan?
I'm kidding. I was thinking of you this morning because I was married to an actress, and it was very difficult. And we're still good friends. Her daughter lives with me. Her daughter's my goddaughter, and she's going to college. She's living, so it's not like we have.
She lives with you?
Yeah.
Wow.
We're very tight. I mean, I helped raise her. Obviously, if she lives with me. But I was thinking about you today because I was thinking about, and you had gone out for quite a while with another comedian.
Mm-hmm.
And just the idea when one becomes successful and how it goes in the relationship, it can vary. Mine was a fucking nightmare because I was up for Saturday Night Live and she would go, well, can you ask them about me? I go, well, can you let me get it first? You know what I mean? And
I see. I don't think that's exactly what happened in my relationship.
I didn't say it was.
Oh, okay.
I'm not. I don't know anything.
Because I think that Duncan is successful too.
I'm not saying he's not. I'm just saying
okay.
what. I'm not. I didn't mean to imply that. I love Duncan, but I was just wondering if it was a conflict at all during the growing period.
I mean, I think it depends on the people. Like I have a friend who is dating a lawyer, and she's a comedian, and he was very competitive.
Well, how can he?
I don't know.
I'm trying to be funny. Or?
Who knows? But yeah, She doesn't live here. She lives in Chicago. But I'm just saying.
I was wondering where she lived.
The point is, it just depends on the person. Like two comics can be non-competitive, and a comic and a doctor could be competitive about something very specific. You just don't know. I just think it depends on the people.
So who would close the show?
Well, we didn't travel all the time.
Did you travel at all?
Yeah.
Did you get him gigs?
I don't know. Yeah, he would open for me sometimes.
Open for you? Well, right there you're saying you think you're better than him.
Well, I just have more TV credits.
I know. No,
I wish my dad could come see your comedy. He would love you.
Thank you. That makes me feel very young.
Well, no, because whenever I see you.
My great aunt would love you.
No, whenever I see you.
She's in a home
No,
right
my
now.
dad has good taste in comedy, but I always want, I even checked, he was here last week, and I wanted him to come. I don't think we were at the Comedy Store.
I was at the Comedy Store Saturday. See, this is the good thing about Jamie Masada. You can say you go at the Comedy Store without repercussions. He doesn't give a fuck.
Yeah, it's not 1982.
No, but I mean, to some people it is. To some people, with certain clubs and...
Right.
I never got into that when I came out here. I just said nobody's going to tell me where to work. Say, meh. But
yeah, I mean, come on.
Yeah, but it matters.
Yeah, everyone pays you $16. Actually, Jamie pays the most.
Jamie pays what, $80 for a set? And
Do people know, like at the Improv, that when you get off stage, they hand you an envelope with a 5 and 2 1s in it?
Do they really?
Yes.
Are you serious?
Unless you're headlining that whole weekend.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Have you not performed there?
I've only done guest sets. I mean, I think I did some kind of paid gig, like a corporate thing, and I did something for St. Gennaro Fest. But I guess I don't,
I just think sometimes people are under the illusion that we just are making so much money
at
every
the comedy
time
clubs?
we get
Yeah,
on stage.
Well, Mitzi gives you a percentage of the door for the
If you do the big room,
the
yeah.
big room.
I think I should be getting paid there. I don't think I've signed up to get paid or something.
You never got paid there?
What is it, $16 a set?
I don't know, but I mean, on the main room, you can. This is very funny talking about this.
I think people would be interested.
Well, I think you're right.
Because I went to the Improv once with a musician friend, and he could not believe that I had to pay for my drinks because they only
you really?
Well, they only give you half off of Well. So if you don't want to drink Well, or you don't want to drink the wine that's in
give
like
you half off.
the big jug,
How chintzy is that?
you can't even get the wine. Should we delete this?
No, it's interesting. I mean, that's very interesting. I didn't know that you got. See,
So like if you want if you want a Kettle One tonic, you're supposedly supposed to pay the whole thing.
Kettle One is considered
call. Like anytime they call, it's like so basically anything that like is
call.
like if you call it, like if you just say vodka tonic,
Oh, I
you get
see.
a pop off and tonic, and then you get sick the next day. At least I
right.
do. If you drink like 3 of those,
Yeah.
headaches, shit water. You don't want that.
No, I don't want that. I just stopped drinking 2 months ago. And it's so funny when people, I'm trying to write some bits, obviously, but it's so funny when people clap for that.
That you stop drinking?
Yeah, they clap for anything like they never clap for just a good person.
Yeah.
Here's a person that she took care of her family, she took care of her sick sister. Boo, big deal. She's better than us. But
What did you drink?
everything at the point. What was killing me was, well, first of all, my face was so bloated. Even now it's bloated, but I had done steroids.
Steroids?
Yeah. Feel that?
For working out?
Yeah.
Why?
Just because I want to be built like Joe Rogan.
Do you really?
No, I had shingles. I had
See, now that makes more sense to me. I find that more becoming.
for working. Yeah, you.
No, I actually find that more attractive having shingles than getting like a beef body.
Yeah, no, I would never want to do that, and I never want to have.
I'm not attracted to that.
Well,
In anybody, I don't get it. Like whenever I see that, I'm like, that person has spent 3 hours. That's 3 hours that person has today spent not reading.
you read?
Yeah, I mean, I like people who are like, if you're at the gym for 3 hours a day,
I know what you're saying.
obviously there's not that much time for you to do other things.
Yeah.
Although I guess you could be listening to audiobooks while you like work on your
You see, you can have both.
8-pack.
Yeah, there's a point in anything extreme. But anyway, I just wanted to say the drinking thing, this was killing me, this place, because the girls are all friends of mine, all the waitresses.
Oh, yeah.
And what happened was I had one custom with this one girl who, I love her, and she's fun. She's just terrific, but man, she can belt them. And she had Jack Daniels. Then this other woman who actually stopped drinking the day that I did, when we didn't talk about it. We didn't even know. She drank vodka. So I was like mixing, and I was taking 6 shots to
You were mixing at your age.
What, was there a perfect age to mix?
Yeah, over
What?
21,
What?
you stick to your thing.
Over 21. I'm over 21.
That's what I mean. Like
You can tell, right?
you've learned
My
throughout the
skin,
years, right? Like if you have Jack
I never-
Daniels, then you have vodka, then you have some wine, you're gonna
Didn't
get
matter.
sick.
It didn't matter when I was on a jet. You never met Sophie, this little French girl I used to live with. Long time, 5 years ago, 6 years. She would say to me, "Do you realize that you are drinking 2 days a week every week?" Because I travel a lot, and it grew on me.
What's wrong with drinking 2 days a week?
Well, if you drink all day, it's bad.
Oh, she's saying 2 days.
2 solid days.
She's saying 48 hours.
Not having a drink, like an aperitif or something. Cheers.
Right.
This is like, I get to the airport. The guy, Bruce, I mean, not that I care about paying for the airport drink. They're free unless you get a cold drink. And I never heard that before. And then they gave me tickets there, and then I go in first class. and it was endless. And then I get off the plane, and the guys want to have a drink, and you know what I mean. And I would.
So
never,
it wasn't making you feel good.
It made me feel good for about 3 hours a day, and the rest of the day was horrible.
Yeah, that's bad.
And then think about it, as you know, being a comedian now, you've done other stuff too, but when you're just a comedian, you can really lead a life of debauchery.
It's a dangerous job.
Debauchery or debauchery?
Debauchery.
Yeah.
But it's true. I mean, I thought that when Greg Giraldo died. I was like, just thinking, because I know people were coming to his shows, especially like, once people find out you like something, they come to your show. I mean, how do you resist that? You need to have
have a shot, yeah. Well, you know what happened?
Or they bring you drugs. I mean, who knows?
Oh, yeah, and that's what happened with Greg. And I was in...
and you're just up to your own... You have to leave it up to your own conscience, and it's dangerous.
Well, you know the actress Renee Zellweger?
Yeah.
Okay, so she's been coming up here. She's a friend of Dove's. And she taught me a little lesson about it. Because I go, do you want a drink? And she goes... I'm not going to drink tonight. But she didn't realize how many times she said that to me. So I knew that was something that she had worked on as a cool answer not to have a drink. And I learned from her, and I said...
Because if you say, I'm not drinking, it's
a whole
too much.
dramatic thing. She goes, no, I'm not going to drink tonight. I think I'll just have a nice tea, whatever it is. And, like when I was in Florida...
That's cool.
Yeah, very cool woman. But I started practicing not drinking by not giving in to, like, don't be such a wuss. Where people said to me, do you want to have one drink with us? And I said, look at my face. I said, I looked Italian before. I'm looking Mongolian now. I said, I'm bordering on Cantonese.
Cantonese.
Seriously.
You don't look Cantonese. Not that would be bad.
not that there's anything wrong with it. But I really felt that,
Do you think Renee is she doesn't drink ever, and that's like her...
I don't know. I never asked her because I never wanted to
but
get in.
But you started to see that was her.
I thought that was her MO. Yeah,
Because another great thing that I like, because I was just in Bloomington, because what I do is I try to go like a month. Like right now, I'm in a month of not drinking.
Well, that's good.
And so I haven't drank in 2 weeks, and so I have I think 3 more weeks or something is what I decided. But when you go to a bar, I was just in Bloomington, Indiana, and I went to a bar, and I just wanted to have sparkling water. They don't have sparkling water. I said, okay, I'll have a glass of it. And then they give you a big old, 2-liter glass. I just want it in like an alcohol glass.
So nobody will bother you.
Yeah, with a lime, with a little straw. So there's got to be some kind of code word. Like I wish there was like a code word so that they wouldn't give it to you in like a weird separate thing with like 3 big straws.
Give it, just tip her. Can I have a martini glass? And
yeah.
Here's something for you. And how about some water in that glass?
Well, I read that a martini glass is actually what you can do. You can get a martini glass with water and an olive and then just carry it around all night.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah, it's not bad because that really is half of not drinking is having to explain, having people say you should be, having people say come on. Because I have definitely been the victim of me being like, I'm not drinking, and someone like, come on. And I'm like, okay.
Yeah, right. All right.
Like it's not hard.
Yeah. I've had people just really try and tempt me, like with stupid kind of, like I was in Ireland, and Ireland's a tough
I know,
place.
I was just there too. Drinking constantly.
What'd you do in Ireland?
Fresh and crispy wine. That's what I was having.
Mm.
That was the only white wine they had. I was at the festival there.
Which one?
In Dublin.
Oh, cool.
In Galway.
Oh, who ran that, the Galway part?
That I cannot tell you.
Okay, because I just did Galway in June, and it's amazing, these podcasts. This kid comes up to me, he goes, Tom Irrera, heard you on Joe Rogan's podcast. You fucking cracked me up. He was 20 years old. He said, tell Joe that I'm studying martial arts because of him. And I said to him, that's great. So what we need is a drunken Irish kid who knows how to fight, But it's pretty powerful.
That's funny.
Yeah, I wanted to tell you something.
Oh, but you were in Dublin, so you were drinking a lot.
Oh,
and
they would go. They would go. Dom, have one more with us. I said, and this is when I was just slowing down. I hadn't quit yet. And I go, no, I'm good. They go, well, then have a nightcap. I go, what the fuck's the difference between a nightcap and one more? You know what I mean? Like, a nightcap's just this cute little drink compared to this horrible drink.
What you can do, though, is order it and then just don't drink.
Yeah,
order that and a water or a bottle. I always like a bottle of water because it's something that's like real,
What do you drink, wine?
I like wine. But that's the problem, too. At a place like this, unless Jamie pulls out his nice wine, it's not like it's that tempting for me to be drinking wine at a comedy club.
You're not going to. I love people complain about wine at a comedy club.
And any comedy club, the wine usually is wretched.
I had a guy one time in England Do you know the Comedy Store in England?
I've never been there.
London. Well, the guy, I was doing something for the BBC. I'll make it quick because I want to hear about you instead of me. But I go to Glasgow, and on my way back, I stopped in Manchester. They gave me a first-class round-trip ticket on Virgin. Right? So I said to him, he knew that I liked wine, and this is the greatest move. Like, I talk about just a businessman. He says, "I'd really like you to work here." He says, "I got a bottle of wine. I know you like wine." I said, "I'd love to work here again." He said, "Well, when can you come back?" I said, "Well, I just got to tell you that because of Virgin Air, I got a free ride here, but I could never come here for that kind of money. Just to let you know, and I don't want you to waste your time." With that, he corked the wine. There was that much left. He corked it. Boom. See ya. That was the end. You know what I mean? Like once he realized there was no negotiating, that it was going to take a realistic salary. I wasn't looking for a killing. Isn't that something? Like, anyway.
He put the wine away?
Put the wine away. Like, who does that?
That's awful.
So you know what I do? Every time I see him, I buy him drinks. Just out of spite.
See, that's one thing I appreciate about England and Ireland. Like, they are not, I mean, maybe they're a nation of alcoholics, but they are not as uptight as we are about drinking.
No, not at all.
Like, whenever you watch these old movies, like, what happened to that cognac or that brandy bar that seemed to be happening, like, day and night? Like, that seemed to solve everybody's problems.
Right.
Like, here, have a brandy.
Well, did you notice that the women buy drinks, too?
In England,
Well,
yeah.
in Ireland,
in
for
the UK,
sure.
yeah.
I mean, they, here, and I don't know what you're like socially. I'm sure that you're cool. But a lot of the women just expect you to go up and get
Right.
drinks. It's part of our culture.
I don't really want someone to buy me a drink that I don't
Then you
want
feel
to
like
talk to.
Yeah, that's because then you feel like you owe them some time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's a different world for you. You know what I mean?
Well, I don't really hang out at bars.
You should.
I don't think so.
Meet a lot of interesting people.
Really?
No, they're redundant.
I mean, everyone's pretty much looking to fuck, right?
No. I think there's
At a bar on a Saturday night.
Well, there's a lot of reasons. I mean, loneliness, socializing, looking to fuck, looking to get drunk, just looking to hear music. I mean, there's a myriad of reasons. I don't think it's all about fucking.
Interesting.
Do you?
I mean, I was just in Bloomington, so I went out a few nights because it was actually a really cool city. Have you been
You've
there?
been dropping Bloomington a lot lately.
I know.
You're dropping Bloomington like people drop Paris.
Trying to make sure everyone knows how sophisticated I really am. No, but I just went out a few times, and it's a pretty, like, there's a lot of bars and
It's
clubs.
where the Vikings used to play. It's right near Minneapolis, right?
No, it's Bloomington, Indiana. Oh, maybe it is.
Oh, Bloomington, Indiana.
Yeah.
I thought you were talking about Bloomington, Minnesota.
No, there's also a Bloomington, Illinois.
So many Bloomingtons. Who knew before you came on the... Can you come back on this podcast to educate us more?
But the point, I don't know what point I'm making, is that's the vibe I got at the bar that I went out at.
Yeah.
That people are, like, salivating to fuck. But it was also like 1 a.m. on a Saturday.
Right,
so that's probably like...
Yeah, that could be.
That's like the leftovers.
It's not exactly...
Trying to mate.
Waiting for dinner, having a drink, people.
No, I know. That's true.
Your table's ready, people. It's
That's
like,
true. I like the idea of going to have a drink and socializing. But you just want it to be like cool people.
Yeah, of course. And you never know where you're going to meet them. I mean, do you ever have people do your act to you?
Yeah. Or jokes.
What are you supposed to do? I always thought, what am I? Are you supposed to laugh at your own act?
Usually when people tell me jokes, a lot of times it's jokes
jokes.
I don't remember. No, jokes that I said.
Oh, jokes you said.
Sometimes it's things I don't remember. So then I'll laugh because it seems
right.
amusing.
Well, also it's nice to be refreshed because you're basically stealing from yourself.
Yeah.
Something you had buried.
Because you forgot about it.
Forgot about it because you probably forgot about it for a reason that you were tired of saying it.
Well, now Jamie's usually put it up on YouTube.
Well, this is going right out. This is streaming live right now.
Is it live streaming?
Yes.
Don't you have to get my okay for that?
We don't care. Well, sue us. No, we don't have to get your okay.
Really?
Yeah, of course we do. No, it's not streaming live. Am I that good an actor or are you gullible?
No, I don't know how this works. All I know is there's so much crap of me on YouTube and none of the good stuff that I've ever done is even allowed to be on there.
So what's the good stuff and what's the stuff you don't like?
Things that were like made on a budget and not things that were like videotaped with 6 people in an audience 7 years ago when I was like trying to figure out a joke. Right. Or with someone's camera phone. I want the thing I did, when I'm professionally, like when I'm on The Tonight Show. The Tonight Show, they take that stuff down in like 2 seconds.
What have you done that you're most proud of?
I mean, pride is such an interesting thing, isn't it?
Please don't overanalyze. Just what did you? If somebody said,
I mean,
to you,
I'm happy about my album that I made.
made an album. What is this? 1965?
Well, I mean, it's like, you know, it's.
You sang?
No, my comedy album.
I think of albums as singers.
You don't have a comedy album?
I don't know. I guess I do.
You don't know?
Well, I have something that,
You never like released an album and called it something.
a CD.
A CD. Okay. A CD.
I'm so bad at that. I have one CD and one DVD. I work with opening acts who have five DVDs, 10 CDs. They must tape themselves every night and just put it on, record themselves. You notice that?
Yeah.
Have you ever stopped somebody from selling merchandise?
No.
Me neither.
I mean, what's the MC wants to sell a T-shirt? What am I going to tell him? No.
And he's got some like catchphrase that's too long. I can't believe that actually happened to me again this time. I don't think it's going to catch on. You better shorten it up a little. Like,
you know what happened to me once? This is really embarrassing.
What?
Well, I thought I cut you off.
Oh, no.
When I first started headlining I was in Albany, and I had this woman opening for me, but like she was really like, just kind of really pandering to the older women in the crowd, I guess.
Ladies, back me up on
that
this.
kind of thing. And so they switched us the next night.
They switched
They made me open for her.
Oh, that's because she talked to the crowd.
Well, because she was like that it was like a lot of older women in Albany. That's another thing I decided too. Like I told my agent, I was like, I only want to play places that have a museum of modern art.
Ooh.
But that's not, I mean, you want to be where there's like young, hip, cultured people. That's what I like.
How did you call Van Gogh? Van Gogh?
I don't speak
You don't speak
Dutch.
what?
Is that what it would be called?
He was Dutch, wasn't he? Yeah.
But yes, I would let someone.
Tallest white people in the world, by the way.
Oh, in the Netherlands?
Mm-hmm. I stood up on a plane. I felt like I was standing in a hole because somebody warned me about it. And
That everyone was really tall?
everybody was tall. Everybody was like 6 foot. The women were.
It's hard being short.
How tall are you?
4'11".
That's what my goddaughter is.
Is she fully grown?
Yeah.
I used to get growing pains when I was little, and I always kept hoping that I was like, did you ever
Maybe
get that?
you're just having your period.
No, did you ever get that where you feel your legs stretching out?
No. but for the sake of this
someone just
conversation,
told me I
I
had
get that
it.
all the time. I still feel it.
It's hard. You know what's really hard is wearing heels everywhere you go.
You're telling me,
God,
especially for a guy.
honey.
No, I can't imagine. Well, how tall do they make you? They make you 5'6"? No, how tall? They're pretty tall.
Probably like 5'2". These are my casual heels.
So you wear like real stripper heels?
I try not to. I don't like the way those look, but sometimes when everyone's in heels, I kind of have to be too.
Yeah.
But there's been a lot of actresses who are 4'11".
There are?
Judy Garland.
Judy Garland was 4'11"?
Yes.
Get the...
Gloria Swanson. Do you know who that is?
Yeah, of course. What am I eating?
Selma Hayek is 4'11".
Really?
She's got huge
You really
knockers,
root for the
though.
4'11" women, huh?
Well, I know it's possible to be able to
Wear heels.
to be able to make it through your life, to be glamorous.
Did you know that in Texas, 4'10" is considered a midget?
In Texas,
That's
Texas has its own laws.
That's they're like their own country. My goddaughter told me that. She goes, in Texas, I'm only an inch over a midget.
Texas is weird.
Or a dwarf.
I was just in Texas, and they're the most patriotic state I've ever seen.
Well, there's different parts of Texas too. I mean, Austin's much different than Dallas.
Yeah, that's true. I'm not big into patriotism.
No.
I don't like sports either. Probably anyone who listens to this podcast would not like me. What are your fans into?
I find you very alluring. What are my fans? What?
Well, your fans into like WWF. What's that thing that people like?
Yeah, they like fake wrestling.
No, not fake wrestling. What's that thing where the guys?
AMA, the American Medical Association. MMA, mixed martial arts.
Yeah, that where they writhe around with each other and like.
They what?
They kind of writhe around.
They like basically the humpy.
Yeah, it's kind of humpy. What's that called?
MMA.
MMA. Mixed martial arts.
Yeah.
Oh, right, because it's like kind of part karate, part like boxing.
It's basically trying to kick the guy's ass in any way other than pinching, biting, or gouging.
But with no weapons.
No, but it's pretty fucking dangerous. The interesting thing about it is more brain damage is caused by boxing than by that because they don't get good shots at each other. You know what I mean? Like in boxing, you're standing there and
Yeah.
you dropped, boom, you hit him here, and brain damage. They're flailing away at each other. I mean, it's dangerous.
Is that the Israeli one too? What's that Israeli street Krav Maga? Do you know that?
Von Kock?
No,
Von Kock Bagor?
it's like Israeli street fighting. Is that part of it too?
Oh, no, I don't think. Well, I don't know. It could be. I don't know enough about it. Joe Rogan knows that stuff. Because
I
he's
wish this was his podcast.
Pardon me?
I'm just kidding.
You wish this was his? Well, this is good practice in case you do a real podcast. Nobody watches. This is good.
I'm curious about this kind of fighting.
Well, it's pretty cool that they, there's always something to be invented or reinvented, I thought. Because the wrestling was so phony. I mean, you had to be really retarded not to know it was phony. Skate on his face.
And the costumes.
Yeah, I mean, it's so bogus.
And then the acting was bad
Ali got a lot
sometimes,
of
too.
his act from that.
Oh, really?
There was a guy, I believe his name was Gorgeous George, and he had like a whole act, I'm the greatest, I am the greatest. And Ali lifted that act. Isn't it funny that even in boxing they steal material?
Yeah.
I am the greatest. Like all that rhyming and shit. And
He took that from a wrestler, huh?
yeah. I mean, he would be the
Interesting.
first to admit it too. It wasn't like he hit it.
That's so. Yeah, that's a. I wonder if the guy got mad because there's actually a movie coming out about the guy who Bob Dylan lifted his stuff from.
Really?
Mm-hmm. I forget his name. I just know comics who've been auditioning for this.
Pete Seeger?
No, it's not Pete Seeger.
It's
It's
older
someone
than
more
Dylan.
obscure than Pete Seeger, but it's basically because what happened in the folk scene is they were doing old songs that already existed, but it would be like bringing up that song and doing your rendition of it.
Right.
Like, this guy was the first one to do Blowing in the Wind the way he did it, and then
Yeah.
Bob Dylan would like copy his renditions and I guess like his persona.
Wow.
Yeah. But I mean, I don't know. That might be.
That's weird to hear that. Because I was saying
I need to. Could someone do like write in if they know who that is?
okay. Right into...
Do you ever outsource it like that?
no.
Get your fans to start working for you.
No, that's a good idea. People
good.
like to have a task.
Yeah.
People love task.
And everyone's got a computer.
Well, it's funny because I was talking about Bob Dylan the other day, saying he was probably the first rapper I ever heard, in the sense the way he dealt with the language. Johnny's in the basement picking up the medicine.
Well, rap is like the newest musical form that we have, right?
Well, I don't know.
Except maybe electronic
No,
music.
I think that combo they do. I mean, rap's really old now. Rap's like 25 years old now. The rap that we got from black people.
Yeah,
from
but
the
Bob
gospel.
Dylan's older than that.
Yeah, but I'm saying they didn't consider him a rapper. The guys that we consider rapper, he was a rapper in the sense of the execution and the symmetry of the words,
yeah.
the way the syncopation.
You're just calling him a rapper because he couldn't sing.
Maybe you're right.
No, but I'm a huge fan. Definitely.
Where are you going, my blue-eyed son?
He's great. I mean,
You know how some jokes are so bad, but they're funny in their time? I remember a guy, I won't name him because hopefully he won't see this, but he had the stupidest Bob Dylan joke, and it always got a laugh. Bob Dylan at dinner, pass the peas, please. Isn't that stupid?
that's terrible.
It's not even a joke.
But the fact that it got a laugh,
I know.
that's more the problem of society and the audience.
Yeah.
And that, people who are hacky are able, they're rewarded.
Well, yeah.
Because the people don't know any better. But I will say, comedy audiences are getting better because they're getting more savvy. Comedy is kind of a thing right now. And more people know about comedy and comics, and people listen to podcasts all day long, like while they do their other jobs. Like when I had a podcast, people would write in and say, I work at a frozen food section and I listen to the podcast all day. So people are able to multitask
Right.
and just like take in comedy. So it makes, how like when you go on the road, the waitresses kind of have better taste in comedy.
Oh, always. Yes.
Because they hear it all day.
Yeah.
So the fact that everyone's being more exposed to comedy, I think it's making the audiences a little more savvy.
Yeah.
And I don't know that Pass the Peas would get a good reaction.
Please. No, but it's very true. And one of my gauges of when I was getting respect at all was if the waitresses would line up. And
I know.
it started happening for me at the comic strip in New York, and I'd see them standing there, and that was a great feeling because you're right, they're jaded. I heard
They've heard, I mean, because that's the thing as a comic, and that's what's hard about when you start doing TV too, because people will write jokes and you're like, this joke has been made so many times because we know
4 hours. My heart on last 4 hours. I'm calling everybody.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, like people think they just thought of it, and you're like, no,
Yeah.
I know 6 comics who have that joke.
Yeah.
And so we just are exposed to it so much.
It's fun for me to see who hits it and when they hit it and when they stay, like up and down. And, that's one of the cool things about being around. Like Louis C.K. Like, Louis not really that much funnier than he was 2 years ago, but he's way more popular. But, he
Right.
just hit it. He hit a nerve, and he's so smart. And I got to tell you this. This is just a stupid thing that was just so funny. We used to do it. We were in Montreal a lot. I've been in Montreal. You've been to the festival, right?
Yeah, I think I've been with you too.
Yeah.
I've been like 3 or 4 times.
Yeah, we were up there together.
You and Louis?
Well, he was in the audience. He used to do this thing called Cunty McShitballs, right? And it was like this gross guitar act, and it was just so funny because to see him, it was the stupidest but funniest thing. Like I'd come out, I'd be hosting a show in the old Club Soda. I don't think you were around for that. Were you? It was called Colanote.
No.
It was in a Hasidic Jewish neighborhood. Anyway, I'd come out on stage and they'd just be talking, and I go, "Excuse me, is that who I think it is?" And he'd go, "Is that Mr. McShitballs?" And he goes, "Look," I said, "Is that Cunty McShitballs?" Folks, what about a song from him? And they go, and they would have the whole crowd going, "Cunty, Cunty," and then Louis would come up and do this stupid song. But just the idea of I guess it's probably the stupidest, funniest name you can think of.
Yeah.
Like the lowest common denominator. I can't talk common denominator of names. I don't know what got me on that, but
Yeah, he is funny. Yeah, I think it's interesting to see what
It's
people
very
are attracted to, and I
yeah.
think that everything leads to other things too.
yeah, it can.
Like
yeah.
maybe Louis wouldn't be popular if Dane Cook hadn't been popular in the way he is, and then there's backlash, and it's like everyone just sort of moves in these herds, and they kind of understand. Like I don't think people. It's interesting. I just think that audiences are getting more savvy.
You ever get people tell you that they want to tell you somebody else is funny, but they do it apologetically? Like they go, "Look, I came here to see you, but I got to tell you, I really love whoever." And I go, "Well, me too." They go, "You do?" I go, "Yeah." I said, I didn't know how you guys felt about each other. I said, "What do you think? I think that I carry comedy on my back." Do you know what I mean? It's like, of course.
I saw Carrot Top in Vegas, and he was funny.
He's funny.
And I came back and told people that, and Andy Kindler called me. He's like, "Natasha, are you telling people that you think Carrot Top's funny?"
Well, he said, what's funny about Andy?
And I was like, Andy, maybe someone wrote his jokes, but he had funny jokes.
He's funny.
That were not prop
You
jokes.
can't make it that big without having something for that long. Look, even Dice Clay, who I don't like, he has to have something.
He makes me laugh every time I see him perform.
He's a very good actor,
You guys don't know how to party. I heard him telling this joke. He's like, you guys, it was so long ago, but it was like, you don't know how to party. The kind of party I want to be walking down the hallway and see your semen coming out of the closet door, and I want to slip on it. Now that's a party.
Why didn't I write that?
I just like the absurdity, like the visual images. Like that is another thing about Dice. I think he's really good at creating visual. I've never been able to get that out of my head.
Right.
He's funny.
Well, Otto and George, one actually that I think he lifted. I'm not positive. I don't want to get a lawsuit, but the nursery rhyme thing. Otto and George would have lines that "Hey, I went out with a black chick. Her vagina looked like a wallet." Fucking, but all these images, gross as they
Wow.
were. I shot you who out of my ass. I was whatever it was. It was always descriptive. narrative. It wasn't. It was never boring. You might not have liked it. You
Right.
might not have thought it was funny, but it was fascinating.
I'm not saying that Dice is in the zeitgeist. I'm just saying he's funny.
Take it easy. Don't scream at me. I could have you banned from this show. You know that.
From this show.
You could have come looking a little better, for the love of God.
Stop it. People just can't assume that there's going to be video. I guess that's the new thing. You just assume you're going to be on camera.
Yes, you should assume
Just
that your whole
even
life.
if you're like wherever
What would you have done
go.
differently?
I would have canceled.
What would you have done?
I would have called and said I couldn't come.
No, really.
Well, because I was getting blood taken and
You never told me why you got blood taken.
in a urine sample.
Okay, and a urine sample, not just blood, folks. Urine.
I just want to see like what. I just want to live forever.
Wow.
My friend told me about this nutritionist, and then you give him the blood, and then he
Oh.
comes back with you.
What tells you what you need? What nutrients?
Well, he comes back with like three different columns, like a green, a red, and a yellow. And like
Yeah.
the green column is what you should be eating. The red column is what you should be completely avoiding, due to your blood type and your cholesterol level and all the different. Do you think that's funny?
No.
And I'm trying to stop eating meat too.
Yeah.
So I just want to know, like, I think that I'm O blood, and I think I'm supposed to be eating a lot of red meat. So I
Because
want
you
to
have an iron deficiency.
well, I don't know if I have an iron deficiency, but certain blood types you're supposed to eat certain ways. Did you know about that?
No.
You're like, which blood type? Let's eat pasta for every meal.
Is it really? Well, I think it's that's why you can't tell people how to feel. Like I used to play a lot of basketball, and if I just had pasta, I would get like lightheaded and see spots. And everybody in those days was saying, eat pasta before you go on for a long run.
Oh, right.
Right before marathon runners would. So everybody's different. I think it's a good thing that you're having it at your age to get it checked out. And
Yeah, I just want to get on the right path. Because I
Nobody-
think we're going to live to be 200.
not in this.
I think I am.
I hope so. You're gonna have a lot of material by then.
What if when I'm 150, I'm still doing jokes from like
Yeah.
2012?
Boy, that Obama. Who?
How often do you write new jokes? Can I ask you that? Like or here's a better question. When you're on the road, how old is your oldest joke that you'll say pretty consistently?
Consistently? I don't know.
Like 10, you have a joke that's 10 years old?
Maybe not a joke, but more of a thing that gets me into certain jokes. Like I don't mean that in a bad way.
Like
Like a kind of a marker of different material.
right.
But I don't know. Jokes come in and out. I mean, I might do a joke that I did 20 years ago, and I might not do any. I try and not have an order. And
Oh, yeah? When you do 45 minutes?
Yeah, and I try and challenge myself a lot of times by working clean being filthy at the beginning. I've done this just to fuck with it.
Filthy at the beginning?
Filthy at the beginning and really clean the last 15 minutes. Like
Interesting.
pristine clean. Just to see if I could do it and to get the same reaction,
I feel like on the road, I've getting so dirty. And is that kind of one of the...
It could be a trap, yeah.
Yeah.
Because you're following they don't ever say to your middle act anymore, you got to be clean in front of her. They just...
I'm going to start saying that, I think.
Well, Felicia Michaels?
Yeah, she's funny.
I love Felicia, right? But she was laughing. I was doing her podcast a couple weeks ago, and I said, "No, the only thing I asked you was not to do your pussy fart joke at the end."
And she did.
She did. She couldn't. She goes, "I can't help it. It's a good closer." I go, "But please don't put me in that position where I got to acknowledge it or not acknowledge it
Yeah.
to follow that joke." I mean,
Well,
we laugh about it now.
As the
but-
headliner, though, you should be able to make
well,
those
that
requests.
kind of that extreme,
Yeah, no, I don't like that either. I don't like people to talk to the crowd before I get on stage.
Yeah, I don't.
It's hard. But it's interesting that
Craig Shoemaker?
yeah. Does he have a lot of the same jokes?
No, I just don't. I don't like Craig, and there's very few people I don't like in comedy. Maybe 3 or 4. You probably know.
Will you tell me who they all are?
Yeah, I don't care.
On who? Who else? Dice?
Dice.
Does Dice know that you don't like him?
Yeah, but I don't hate Dice.
I think it's so cool you can just say who you don't like.
Yeah, Craig, Dice, Bobby Collins. You don't know him.
I know him.
Do you?
I mean,
look at you, you beautiful thing.
He lives in
You're an
Florida, right?
angel. You're an angel without wings. Ooh.
He lives in Florida.
No,
I've seen him.
He doesn't live in Florida. He just probably works the condos.
Yeah,
down there.
yeah. I know who he is.
That's 3. John Caparillo. I despise John Caparillo. I really think that.
Really?
Yeah, I tried so hard too. I tried, and I remember being nice to him when he was parking cars, and I remember being nice to him when he was coming. He just got an attitude. I really don't like John, and I really tried. And I know that he has friends that I like, and he annoys them too. Why do you go out with him?
Do I go out with him?
That
He's married.
fat pig. Is he really?
Yeah.
He's married?
Yeah.
Somebody married John Caparillo?
She's cute too.
Oh God! Well, that's what you get for comedy.
So like comics goal, like men in general.
Who
they're
don't you like?
Huh?
Who don't you like?
I would never say.
What a pussy! You opened me up.
You said
I bore my heart for you.
You seem like you don't care about it.
I don't care.
I'm trying to think if there's anyone I don't like that I could tell you. I mean.
Oh, you're such a wuss.
Here's what. No, I'm not.
Yeah, you are.
Because another thing is, you
R2,
start to realize.
R2.
You start to realize too why people act the way they act.
Oh, don't get over analytical.
You
on
do
us.
though.
Just tell me who you don't like.
I honestly can't think of anybody.
Oh, look at you, Mother Teresa, lover of mankind.
I'll think of someone before.
Me. You don't like me.
I like you. Because, like, there's always people I don't like, and then I get to know them, and I bond with them, and then I think they're cool.
Yeah.
It's like there's usually, like, a hump you need to get over with people sometimes, like, before you can really click.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
I know what you mean.
Yeah.
saw you.
But the thing with men comics is that, men in
There's
general.
so few of them.
Men in general. I think a lot of people do their job so that they can, like, date just slightly out of their league.
I think a lot of men do everything they can to date out of their league. Who wants to date under their league? I want a short thing, minor leaguer. I don't want a major leaguer. I always used to laugh at the Italian guys, like the mafia guys, and with the big broad. And they'd be like, it would be like 5'5", and they'd have like little paper thin heels, and she'd have,
Right.
How you doing, Trixie? You know.
That's how my dad is, by the way.
Oh, really?
He's a Italian of that ilk.
So what's your nationalities?
Italian
You're
and
all
Swedish.
Italian? Oh, you just throw that in. And Swedish.
I'm half and half.
Are you?
Yeah.
Your mom's Swedish?
Mm-hmm.
Your dad's Italian? That's an Italian name, Leggero?
Yeah.
What kind of Italian?
I guess their family's from Torino.
Oh, Northern Italy.
Mm-hmm.
So you could have the blue eyes from Italian or Swedish, obviously.
Yeah.
Is that your real color hair?
Oh, I've thought of someone I don't like.
Who?
I'm
Say it!
trying to think of his
Free
name.
yourself.
I'm trying to think of his name, but he's famous.
Woody Allen.
No. He was on Gary Unmarried.
Gary Unmarried. What a clever name. How do they rhyme like that?
What's his name? He's blonde.
Jay Moore?
Yeah, him.
Really? Jay, I guessed you right away. A lot of people don't like you. I do. Arrogant.
I don't know. I just.
He's arrogant.
I'm just trying to pick someone.
Well, don't make up people you don't just to please me, but there's got to be poor. What about some women who were like bitter and jealous that you were going past them, stepping on them as you climb the ladder?
I don't know any women like that.
No.
I think that people.
It's funny that they don't know how many of us actually really get along and are friends. Like, you know who's an old friend of mine?
Who?
Larry the Cable Guy, Dan Whitney.
Larry the Cable. Oh, Jeff Foxworthy I like. I don't know about that guy.
Well, he's a great guy.
Is
he's
he
a
funny?
Fucking goofball. Very funny.
Oh, cool.
And he and Tosh and I were at West Palm together. I'm good friends with Tosh because we used to just hang there, and Daniel would come with me on some road gigs and some work. He was always good though. But anyway, who would put me and Tosh together? I used to call my retarded son. We're in Ireland together, and me and this 6'4" beanstalk walking around.
Oh, I thought of someone else I don't like.
Who? Boy, it's gonna come out like it's gonna be 20 of them. Who?
David Taylor.
David Taylor. He's a fucking asshole. I hate that guy. You just don't like him. He's so mean.
I know.
I'm saying he's a fucking asshole. I'm saying he's mean.
But that's the thing.
He
Someone's
is so
vindictive.
unfunny. He's such a prick.
See, I think that he has I think he could be a funny writer, though.
Uh,
But the problem is he can't get over his dark side that makes him want to destroy and hurt everybody around him.
You know what symbolizes something about him to me is that he has to. He's a very tall guy. This guy's about 6'4". You'll never hear of him.
He's
And
in the comedy store sometimes.
I know, but they'll never hear of him. Never. Not a chance. And
If he gets mad enough at this podcast, maybe he'll get it together.
yeah, maybe he'll show us. But he'll stand on the table in front of him, which makes him even taller. You know, to me, that says something about his.
He'll do that when
during his sets. You never saw him do that?
Oh, no.
Yeah, he does that. Well, you probably didn't run in to watch him either. You never hear anybody going, "Hey guys, David Taylor's on. Come on, is Argus done? No, good. We'll catch the last minute to him." That's mean.
So we got 2 people. I told you 2.
What did I tell you?
4.
Oh, David Tell
Oh, yeah?
made you look. No, I love David Tell.
Oh,
Come
yeah.
on.
He seems cool. He's so funny.
That's what I was going to tell you before. Yeah, there's a group of guys in that group, like, because I used to love Mitch Hedberg.
Yeah.
Did you know him?
No.
Oh, what a fucking great kid and terrific comedian. But those guys, it's so weird with comedians. With killing themselves young, or they live to be 90.
Yeah.
You know, there doesn't seem to be any comedians dying at 45, 50. You know, I mean, Geraldo was. I always
He
felt
was young. He was like early 40, right?
Yeah, but the thing that bothered me, I really felt like I could have done something there, and I didn't speak up. And
I don't think that's true.
well, you know, you just have regrets.
What, are you going to go on the road with him and make sure that no one's like, "Hey man, hey Jeff, or hey Greg, you got some I got some poppers and some of this shit."
Greg couldn't do anything without doing it to excess, you know, like any drugs or alcohol.
He was so funny. When I was working with him in Last Comic Standing, he was like, "I just ate 6 donuts." You know, like, it's like whatever he does,
yeah.
you know, it's like, or then he's like really into wheatgrass for a week. So he was like, okay, we got to get with the wheatgrass coming. You know, it's like, and that's part of obviously his brilliance is that sometimes you just have those kinds of chemical
Obsessions,
makeups.
yeah. But, you know, we were down in, we were back in a Club Soda in Montreal, and I saw him drinking beer, and it bothered me. And I saw him look at me, looking at him drinking. And not that I'm any crusader, and I was just as fucked up in my own way, but I didn't do...
You weren't Mongolian yet.
I wasn't Mongolian yet.
You're not Mongolian.
I was just bloated, retaining water. But he had this look in his eye, like, you know, like, and I don't want to be anybody's judge, but I just wanted to, and I wanted to say something. And then the next day we went over our friend Bruce's house and argued about soccer for 2 hours, but in a fun way. I think soccer is so boring. He thinks it's so great, whatever. But I just, you know, whatever. I don't want to make this Dr. Phil, but I felt like I should have said something to him. I felt like I could have.
You should have said, as a friend, "Hey, I saw you drinking beer yesterday, man.
Yeah.
What's up with that?"
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I really felt like I should have.
That wasn't. But put yourself in his position.
I know, but I would.
That doesn't make
you know
anyone
what?
quit. If someone
I
said that to
know.
me, I would feel so bad about myself. Did he drink that day that you were talking about soccer?
I don't remember.
Because that would just make him maybe fall even harder.
I know, but you know how.
But I hear what you're saying.
As a comedian, I like to feel guilty for things that I could have done, should have done.
No, I know. It's rough. But he was super talented.
Oh yeah, he was very funny. Harvard lawyer.
Yeah, but you know what I liked about him from Last Comic Standing? I got to know him just kind of briefly. He was like so fair. You know, like I would just make rash judgments on people like the second I heard him talk.
Who else was
It was
judging?
me and him and Andy Kindler.
Oh.
But I would
Didn't you have fun working with Andy?
Yeah. I mean, it was so hilarious. I was in between those two and I was dying laughing the entire show. But what I was going to say is Greg, oftentimes me and Andy would be like, no, me especially. And then Greg would be like, I really feel like I need to hear one more thing. You know, like he was really like
Really?
taking it seriously
Yeah.
and
As
very.
if he's really a judge.
Yeah, well, it was good though, and all the New York comics really looked up to him. Like some people didn't even know who I. Like one guy called me Nancy. Like they didn't know my name or whatever, but they, you know, a lot of people really looked up to Greg, and so I think he just, people were so happy, and I think everyone felt really good after he talked to them, even though they
Right.
didn't always make it.
How did it feel for you, like coming from getting spots at the store? You know, hell, it is for all of us to come up, starting to get spots, to being in that. Then you're all of a sudden you're judging comedy.
Well, I mean, that
Not
was
that all of
about
a sudden,
7 years.
Well, 7 years isn't that long in this business.
Yeah, it's true.
You know,
How long have you been doing comedy?
since 1932, when Churchill. I've been doing it since 1980.
Wow.
I'm really starting to get it down. You got to see my act. Funny.
Wait, so now you were around for the famous 80s boom.
Yeah.
Now when was that? Like 82 to 90, or was it before?
Probably about that 8 years.
And did you feel like do you think like now could you feel like there's another boom happening?
I think that the comedians, there was a real dearth of talent at the store for a long time after, in the 90s. Nobody was doing television, maybe Paulie, myself, a couple of guys. When I first went there, it was like everybody, Arsenio, Roseanne, Belzer.
At the Comedy Store.
Everybody was there.
Yeah, I read that great book, I'm Dying Up Here.
Yeah, but this is a little after that.
Okay.
I came out in 86, 85. But I mean, there was still, New York was booming, where I started in New York. But then there was just such a dearth of talent. Now, this group here, your group, is really a lot of good people. The Dub Davidoffs, the people that will get more famous. You know what I mean? Quirky.
Dub's a good actor, too.
Very good actor, yeah. He's fucking hilarious.
Is he your best friend?
No.
You just mentioned him a couple times.
Did I mention him before?
I think so. It's
I
okay.
don't remember. What did I
It's cute.
say?
Oh, he brought Renee Zagweller here.
Oh, right. God, you're good. You should be an analyst. No, but I mean, like, there's guys that you see, there's like a lot of talent around again.
Yeah, I feel it too.
Yeah.
It's cool. And it's more accessible than it ever was. Like I feel like in the 80s, and I could be wrong, maybe you can verify this, but I feel like comedy was a little more for older people as opposed to now it's like for teenagers.
It really is, yeah.
Younger people and older people, but more younger people.
Comedy Central and MTV have helped that a lot.
Right. So it's more like a younger generation as opposed to like the people who were watching Seinfeld at the clubs. It seemed like it was a lot of couples and married people and...
Yeah. I mean,
although maybe I've just gotten older and now I'm that age,
no,
I think it's young.
No, it is younger. I mean, it skews younger because of TV and because of the hits that the Tosh things and all. Like I'm here, standing on stage here, and there's 4 18-year-old girls, and I'm talking to them. I said, when do I get a chance to talk to 18-year-old girls? I mean, when is this going to happen? And they, like I was in New Brunswick, and there was an Asian girl there, really beautiful. She comes and said she wants to take a picture or something. Yeah. And I said, how old are you? She goes, 19. I said, did you know who you were coming to see? And she goes, yeah. I said, that's cool. She goes, hey, look, man, funny's funny. And that made me feel really good.
That does not sound like an Asian woman. Hey, look, man, funny's funny.
Look, dude. Fuck face.
No, that's awesome.
What, do I have to do an impression every time?
No. I'm just...
like sometimes I like to pull back on the talent.
I hear you.
The unbridled talent.
You are funny.
It's a gift.
Do you have a girlfriend?
No, not now.
Do you get action on the road?
If I want, if I'm a little lazy.
Do you go into the waitress pool or do you go more into like the front row? Or after? Because my problem is, not my problem, but I don't think I would be attracted to anyone who is like waiting to talk to me at my show.
No, and the thing about waitresses is, believe me.
And I'm not going to fuck the waitresses.
You're not?
No.
That's good. Have you been with women?
No, but I'm just saying that those are the two options. I believe it.
I would never. I never like to seem desperate. Like my feeling is, if it doesn't happen, nothing's gonna be so traumatic that I get obsessed with like I hate when like guys wait at the waitress station because they have to come back there to throw their glasses into the, they have to, there's certain spots. It's like people fishing for compliments, and they stand strategically near, like in this lobby here. People have to walk by. Oh, by the way, you were very fun. Oh, Like, oh, I didn't notice you were.
See, now I feel like I should stand out there and say
No.
goodbye to everybody.
No, you don't need that. It's better to be more aloof.
You think? I'd prefer it.
Your aloofness.
Well, but sometimes I feel bad. Like when I'm going to mention Bloomington. Some people drove like 2 or 3 hours.
What is with this obsession with Bloomington?
I'm just telling you though, like, don't you feel like because someone drove? I don't know. Sometimes I feel like if someone just wants a picture, and I'm sitting in the green room anyway.
Yeah.
But then.
I'm not talking about that though. I'm talking about like these clubs. You know,
Oh no!
People fish for.
Oh yeah, at the Comedy Store, the guys always hang out by the girls' bathroom.
Yeah.
After their set,
right. Yeah.
they're hanging out.
Yeah,
right
they're standing in line.
For the longest time, I was like, why do they all hang out there? And
That's
then
why.
I started doing it, and I was like, oh, because
Yeah.
after like the 6th girl walks by, and she's like, oh my god, you are so funny.
Right. Oh, I didn't know you were gonna have to go to the bathroom eventually. So you drink 4 beers.
And we do have a minimum to make sure that
Yeah. Well, they have
you make frequent stops back here.
They have a minimum here, which I don't know if this is legal, but they have a minimum, and then if you stay for the next show, there's no cover, but another minimum. Can there be a 4-drink minimum? Doesn't that sound a little?
Yeah, that sounds like, and then people are driving everywhere. Like that does seem a little
people
weird.
don't drive. Like that's changed my life too. A DUI. Did you ever get one?
No,
Ooh.
but I know of a great new thing that you're gonna love
What?
called Uber. Do you know about this app?
No.
It's an app on your phone, and you press it, and a car service comes and picks you up in 3 minutes.
Oh, really?
And it's the same price as a taxi.
Wow.
And it's like
Can't be 3 minutes.
It's if I forgot my phone, but basically you and here's what's great. You give them your credit cards when you sign up for the app, so they have everything on file. No money's exchanged hands. You don't tip them, and they GPS to see where you are.
I can't not tip
You
them.
can because you rate them and then they rate you. So if you tip them, you probably get a higher rating, and then people come to get you faster. It's fascinating.
Well, I don't drink anymore.
Right, but don't you sometimes just want like a black Mercedes to pick you up and drive you somewhere?
Yes. Take me behind an old cemetery and have their way with me. Well, I guess we're done. This is great. You're great.
Was that interesting enough? Can't wait for this to get on YouTube. Can't wait to see all the comments.
You're gonna look beautiful. You can see.
People are so mean. I got an email. I wish I had my phone. I got an email yesterday. This girl sent me the meanest email. Did I bring my phone in? She was just like, you should not ever talk. You're not funny. I don't understand why anyone has ever put you. It was just like so mean.
That was my mother, folks. I feel
It
like
was
doing
so
an Andy
mean.
Kindler. An Andy Kindler.
It's just crazy how mean people are. That's why sometimes I like to go to like classical music YouTube videos, because then you can see like civilized people talking about, there's never like dipshits. Or there are, but the way that they fight, or if you go to like an opera video on YouTube and you just read the comments, you like get reminded that there are sophisticated, intelligent people on the internet.
I don't think many people go to opera on YouTube.
A lot of people do.
I do. I think
I'll send you
I
something.
take that back.
No, a lot. It's just not the people who go to the Laugh
Slappy
Factory's
Bananas.
videos. That's all I'm saying. So yes,
So
please
where are you working?
give us these negative comments.
Where
Keep
are
them
you working
coming.
in the next couple months? You want to plug anything?
I'm going to Wisconsin in 2 weeks.
You have a big Midwest thing, huh?
No, I don't. I'm just.
Well, you
I
keep
haven't
saying
been there a
Bloomington.
lot.
What's in Wisconsin?
Doing something in Milwaukee and Madison, and then I think that's it for now. I'm not really on the road that much.
You should try and get some gigs in Australia and New Zealand.
I was supposed to go to Australia
It's really
last
fun.
year. I know.
Great
I really
country.
want to go. It's just you have to kind of go for 2 weeks to make it.
I'm only going for a week, but it's
That's 2 days of traveling.
well, it's not really. It's just that you go across the international date line. It's really
It's
one.
25 hours. The
No,
flight.
it's not. There's no flight in the world that's 25 hours except for the space shuttle.
Why did I think I went there before and I thought it was 25
Because
hours?
probably maybe they had a layover. See, it's 25. It's
Oh yeah, I spent some time in Hong Kong actually.
well, that's out of the way.
Oh, I was going from New York too. Who knows?
Oh my God, that's another 3,000 miles. You keep adding.
Oh, so you go to
stuff up.
Australia?
Right from
you don't.
LAX.
But you go west. You don't go back to New York to get to
Oh
Australia.
no, that's too. It's only 7,000 miles this way, but that way it would be like. But the whole world is 24,000 miles, right? So that would be like 14,000 miles. No, you wouldn't
Okay.
go that way. It'd be
Okay.
crazy.
I need to get a globe.
Remember Dave tells David tells joke about that. He said he had a fear of travel because his parents beat him with a globe.
That's funny.
Yeah. Well, thank you for coming
Thanks
on.
for having
You're
me.
Great.
I hope to see you again soon. Perform.
Ow, are you
Stop
nuts?
it. You're so funny, and I want.
Natasha
I don't want to
Leggero.
just take my dad to see you. I'm just saying. I know would like you because you.
Are you gonna do some stand up for me?
No, I'm not.
I still say she's not funny. Remember did you ever see Everything You Want to Know About Sex?
Yeah, the Woody Allen.
Yeah, and there's one part where the king, he was the court jester. Great to be back here at the palace.
Yeah.
Woody Allen. and Woody Allen would do this, and the queen was laughing, and the king would go, I still say he's not funny. They beheaded him because he tried to get the latch, latch to the royal snatch. Remember that?
Do you love Woody Allen?
I do.
Me too.
His writing, oh my God.
God, did you watch that documentary? It's
No, I
a
wanna see
2-part
that.
documentary. I highly
Yeah,
recommend it.
I
It's
know.
on. You can get it on Apple TV, but what's so great is they take you through each of his movies, and he
Yeah.
talks about it. And then at the end, I mean, you're feeling like I will never accomplish any. Like he's just so
Oh my
brilliant.
God, so brilliant.
No one's done what he's done. And then at the end of it, he's just like, I just think like when I look back at what I've done, I'm just like, God, really, this is it. I can't believe this is all. Like he's
all
just
I've done.
so insecure
Right, a movie-
about it.
Oh, I know.
It's crazy because he
Yeah.
wanted to be Bergman, and he feels
I
that
know. Like he's short.
Bergman.
I always wonder, like, does Paul McCartney feel like he didn't accomplish something? I mean, what do they do when they're at the top like that?
You
Like,
know what my friend told me the other day that was so great for me? She was like, I don't know if I should say this on camera.
you could say it. You could say whatever you want here.
I know I can say whatever I want. I don't know if I want to.
Well, but you do, or you wouldn't be doing
I'll tell
it.
you after.
No, you tell me now.
No, there's got to be a little secret for after.
How do you think there's going to be an after?
Can't these microphones turn off?
No, we have to walk. I'll walk you to the car with the microphone. Woody Allen, watch Love and Death again if you want to see some
Okay.
great writing. Diane Keaton is so funny in that. She's so perfect.
Love and Death.
And
I don't even know if I've seen
you got to
that
see
one.
it. It's about the.
I started going through
the
them
Russian-
all, and then I stopped.
Watch Love and Death. It's one of his last really, really funny, silly ones, where he's a Russian, and they're fighting Napoleon, and they're all going to war, and they're volunteering to fight. And he goes, I'd like to fight, but I have a yellow streak down my back. It's not vertical, it's horizontal. And his mother goes, no. And I love when he does stuff like that. He goes, no, you will fight for Mother Russia, and you will die for Mother Russia if you have to. And he turns to the camera, and he goes, my mother, folks. Like, even my mother's turning me in.
Watch that doc, guys.
All right.
Watch the doc.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, darling.
If she had only been